Never cancel your plans for a man last minute. So you're like, dang, I'm a woman, but I feel like I'm not a grown woman. This video is for you. If it's not serving some sort of a purpose, then why are we here? Anywho. What's up, guys? It's your girl Taylor, and welcome to Taylor Winbush TV. What's up, you guys? It's your girl Taylor, and today we're going to be talking about the grown woman mentality. Ting! So basically, this video is going to break down everything that you need to know and tips that I've personally learned along the way, along with research on what goes through the mind of a grown woman. Period. I have a list of things that you need to take note of on. So grab your pen, grab your paper. This stuff is real gems and tea. If you're really looking to if you're like in your 20s and you're like, dang, I'm a woman, but I feel like I'm not a grown woman, this video is for you. Okay, so first things first is, ting. This is the key, okay? Never cancel your plans for a man last minute. Okay, so there's something about being available and then something about always being available. There's a fine line, and you don't want people to get, and it doesn't always just apply to a man either. I think it's just making sure that you respect your time, and you don't want to give off the perception that you're always available all the time. And that kind of can translate into someone taking advantage of you. So don't do that. So the other one is you actually enforce your boundaries. It's one thing to create boundaries, but it's another thing to actually follow through on those boundaries. And I feel like women that are grown stick by their boundaries, know like their boundaries are their boundaries, and then that's what it is. They actually follow through on what their boundaries are. The other one is a grown woman is very comfortable dating themselves. There's a video that I have up talking about solo dating and why you should actually do it. Watch that video, y'all. The other one is a grown woman is unapologetic and confident. And this one really, you're moving how you want to move because you know it's best for you, not about what other people think. And I feel like that shows confidence. Confidence is doing things in spite of people looking at you and not trying to be a people pleaser. So that's what that is. The other one is a grown woman knows where she is going and is tapped into her purpose or intentionally trying to discover what her purpose is. I feel like a grown woman is not about to go with the flow just for the sake of it. When she is moving, it's in a way where she is going to gain from the situation, and everything is with intentionality and in alignment with her purpose. And it's okay if you don't know what your purpose actually is at the moment, but a grown woman is consistently seeking to fulfill and to find what that purpose is, because she understands that her life is valuable, and she understands that she has a purpose to serve here on this earth. Whether she knows it at the moment or not, she's actively seeking and actively engaging within what that purpose could or actually is. The other one is, so a grown woman moves with patience and grace. This is very key, and I talk about this also in the solo dating episode about how to actually, when you're solo dating, you learn how to be graceful with yourself, and therefore it's easier for you to have grace upon other people. Patience and grace, and then also a grown woman is at peace in her core. And I feel like that is extremely important, because when you're interacting with other people, it's very important for you to have peace within yourself, because you're able to give your best self to others, even though they may not be able to reciprocate. The other one is she dates herself, enjoys spending time with herself. Solo dating, y'all watch this video. Solo dating is really great because it teaches you like independence, teaches you how to move on your own and be confident within that without having someone always by your side. The other one is she makes a conscious effort to understand money and investment, and she's always mindful of what she has monetarily and asset wise. So listen. A grown woman is going to read books on investments. She's going to try to understand what her money can do for her and how her money can work for her. And I feel like that is a large portion as to what people are missing when it comes to being a grown woman. You have to be able to manage your money. In order to get more money, you have to be able to manage what you have. There's this really large myth about the more money you get, the easier it is for you to manage it, but that's a lie. If you have poor spending habits now, you're going to have poor spending habits when you have more money, and you're just going to be spending more money. So being able to manage what you have right now and do it with diligence and persistence is really important when it comes to tapping into your grown woman mentality. The other one is looking to impress herself and not others. She could care less about what you're doing. She knows what she's doing and what's going to benefit her, and is looking to be the best person or the best version of who she is at all times. The other one is she does not play games when she is dating, okay? Why would she? A grown woman does not like to waste time. She respects herself, so therefore she respects her own time. And if it's not serving some sort of a purpose, then why are we here? Anywho, the other one is she's not afraid to walk away from something that will not serve her, which goes into, it doesn't always have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a job. It could be an argument or something that may be escalating. If it's not going to serve her, she's going to remove herself from the situation, because at the end of the day, her character is more important to keep intact than her spazzing out, or for her to be in a situation that's not going to serve and therefore can end up in her retaliating in such a manner. So the other one is, so there's no such thing as quote unquote guilty pleasures, just pleasures. A grown woman does what she wants without feeling bad about it. And I feel like that's how you move with confidence, and that's how you're also able to move with like a swiftness of knowing what's going to serve you and what's not. And that also goes into being aware of who you are within yourself. The other one is a grown woman holds themselves accountable for their actions and makes adjustments to do so. You can't be the person that blames everyone else for your shortcomings or mishaps. In this book that I'm reading right now, it's basically talking about like, can you actually go 7 days without complaining? And if you do complain, can you pinpoint how you contributed to the situation, or what could you have done better to make this scenario a different outcome? So don't complain. Take accountability and make adjustments so that way that situation doesn't come up again. The other one is a grown woman is not afraid to ask for help or advice. This one's really important because it goes into being humble and having humility. If you need help, just ask. Like, it's not that serious. And a grown woman will also understand that someone else is better than them at one particular task. It doesn't make them feel less qualified. It's kind of like having a CEO mindset. A good CEO will hire someone that's really good at what they do, and a great CEO will hire someone that's better at what they can do, because they know that they're going to be elevated. So when you're asking for advice or when you're asking for help, it's with the intentionality to elevate or to at least get educated on what you're asking about. Like, it's not ever that serious. Just ask for help. The other one is a grown woman is conscious of their time, their heart, and their boundaries, which we did touch on before. But the key word here for me personally is going to be heart, because a lot of the times, like, your time and your boundaries kind of overlay what is on the inside of you, and being able to protect your heart is really important, but doing it with grace and not aggressiveness. The other one is doing what God wants you to do versus doing what you want to do. And I feel like this just goes into spiritual maturity. Like, when you move, are you sick of doing the same thing over and over again? Or do you just want to get it done right the first time? I feel like a lot of times we may place ourselves in situations or circumstances where God has to teach us the lesson over and over again until we get the point. But if we do what God tells us to do from the jump, we don't have to go through the lesson, and we can actually elevate a lot quicker and then go a lot further if we did what was right the first time. So, and that also goes back into respecting your time as a grown woman. Like, why waste time when you could have just listened to God the first time? The other one is a grown woman is never complacent. She's always trying to elevate and better herself. And the other one is a grown woman makes an effort to always be better, which we talked about. There's last two. So the last one is like trumps everything. But this one says a grown woman is open-minded and they judge less. So just understanding the fact that people are people and everyone has their own shortcomings and mishaps, and to not judge people for that, because it's not fair. Like, you're not God and he's the only person that can judge other people. So just sit down and be quiet. It's okay to observe, but just be quiet and don't judge. Some people are just ignorant in certain areas and you have to accept that. That's just life. The last one, which I find that is very important, is to actually, a grown woman is very much so tapped into what their discernment is and their gut feeling. And to piggyback off of that, they actually act on it. I think that a lot of times we are always seeking the opinions of others, and it's very difficult for us to act upon what we feel internally. But I feel like a grown woman does this, and she does it with grace and she does it with ease. Like, it's not difficult for her to understand like how she feels and how to actually act on it, because she knows that's also, I personally feel like whatever you believe in, great. But for me, discernment and gut feeling, I feel like that's also a trigger from God. So being able to act on that swiftly is really important for a grown woman, because she knows that what she's doing is for the right reason and for the right decision. So that wraps up our video and chat today about the grown woman mentality. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think below. Like, do you guys do any of these things, or are there other things that you want to add in? Be happy to chat with you guys about it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, peace.